Stay calm and assess your immediate surroundings. The high oxygen levels mean fires will spread extremely quickly in this environment. Your first priority is finding a clearing away from the dense ferns. Giant insects and falling vegetation pose immediate threats. Check your time machine for any salvageable equipment. You have 10 minutes before the local wildlife becomes aware of your presence. The machete will be your most valuable tool. The dense vegetation requires constant clearing to maintain visibility and safe paths. Remember that the 35% oxygen content means you'll feel energized, but also means increased fire danger. Keep your fire starter secure. Look for elevated ground within the first hour. The Carboniferous period experiences frequent flooding due to primitive drainage systems. You must identify edible plants quickly. Focus on young fern fiddleheads. They're one of the few familiar food sources in this era. Construct your shelter at least 20 feet above ground level. Giant arthropods and amphibians make the forest floor dangerous at night. Use your paracord to create an elevated platform between sturdy tree ferns. Their fibrous trunks provide excellent structural support. Water is abundant but potentially dangerous. Boil all water for at least 10 minutes to eliminate prehistoric microorganisms. The blanket is crucial for nighttime survival. Temperatures can drop significantly despite the generally warm climate. Keep your whistle readily accessible. The loud noise can deter large predatory amphibians and flying insects. Create marked paths using your machete. The uniform appearance of the fern forest makes navigation extremely challenging. Avoid any mushrooms or fungal growths. The Carboniferous period hosts many toxic species unknown to modern science. Learn to recognize the sound patterns of the environment. Any sudden silence likely indicates approaching predators. The high oxygen levels will make fires burn extremely hot and fast. Clear a 30-foot radius when making any fire. Build multiple elevated escape routes from your shelter. The ancient wildlife is unpredictable and potentially aggressive. Collect sturdy fern stems for tool crafting. They can be used to create spears, containers, and basic hunting implements. Monitor the sky for storm patterns. The Carboniferous atmosphere creates intense electrical storms with little warning. You must maintain a constant awareness of your surroundings. Giant insects can approach silently from any direction. Keep your shelter ventilated but protected. The oxygen-rich air can become stagnant and dangerous in enclosed spaces. Create backup water collection systems. Sudden floods can contaminate your primary water sources without warning. Practice using your fire starter sparingly. The abundance of oxygen means even small sparks can create devastating fires. Your survival depends on adapting to the primitive ecosystem. Modern survival instincts may not apply in this ancient environment. Remember that no human has ever encountered these life forms. Assume everything is potentially dangerous until proven safe. Document the patterns of local wildlife. Understanding their behavior is crucial for avoiding dangerous encounters. Use the fern canopy for rain protection, but be aware it also harbors countless insects and primitive flying creatures. Your machete blade must be kept razor sharp. Dull tools require more energy and create more noise while cutting. Create emergency caches of supplies at various locations. Never rely on a single shelter or resource point. The paracord can be unraveled for multiple uses. The inner strands are valuable for fishing and fine binding tasks. Scan your immediate surroundings for any signs of dangerous megafauna. The high oxygen levels make insects and arthropods enormous and potentially lethal. Move carefully through the dense fern forest, staying alert for movement above you. Tree-dwelling creatures in this period can reach massive sizes. You must find elevated ground within the first 30 minutes. The Carboniferous period experienced frequent flooding due to massive rainfall patterns. Locate a large tree fern or ancient conifer with a sturdy trunk at least 3 meters in diameter. These provide the safest platforms for temporary shelter. Use your machete to cut thick fern fronds, but be cautious. The high oxygen content makes vegetation extremely flammable. You need to construct a raised platform at least 2 meters off the ground. Giant millipedes and other ground-dwelling creatures are serious threats. Weave the fern fronds tightly together to create a waterproof shelter roof. The Carboniferous atmosphere produced intense, frequent rainstorms. Your paracord will be essential. Create a secure harness system to prevent falling while you sleep. Heights are your safest refuge. Collect water from fresh rainfall only. Standing water likely contains dangerous prehistoric bacteria and parasites. You must purify all water by boiling, but be extremely careful with fire. The 35% oxygen atmosphere makes flames spread explosively. Keep your fire small and contained using stone barriers. A forest fire in this oxygen-rich environment would be catastrophically deadly. Watch for giant dragonflies, Meganura, with wingspans up to 65 centimeters. While not typically aggressive, they can cause serious injury. Your whistle is crucial for scaring away curious creatures. The unfamiliar sound will startle most Carboniferous period animals. Construct defensive barriers around your shelter using sharpened fern stems. Many ground predators are armored and surprisingly agile. Check yourself hourly for prehistoric insects. The high oxygen levels mean even small bites can become dangerously infected. Use your blanket as a filter when breathing during physical activity. The oxygen-rich air can cause dizziness and disorientation. Identify edible plants by comparing them to modern ferns and cycads. Avoid anything with unusual colors or patterns. You must test each potential food plant carefully. Touch it to your skin first, then lips, waiting 30 minutes between each test. Create a rescue signal pattern by clearing areas in the fern canopy. Future rescue teams will look for unnatural geometric shapes. Mark your shelter location using bright objects or arranged patterns. Getting lost in the uniform fern forest is a deadly mistake. Remember that modern survival skills need adaptation here. The atmospheric composition makes many normal techniques dangerous. Keep your shelter ventilated but protected. The combination of high oxygen and high humidity can cause respiratory problems. Document everything you observe about the environment. Your survival information could be crucial for other time-stranded travelers. Stay vigilant during the night hours. Many Carboniferous predators were nocturnal, and your light will attract curious creatures. Maintain a daily routine to preserve mental stability. The alien environment and constant threats can quickly lead to panic. Learn to recognize approaching storms by watching primitive insect behavior. They're highly sensitive to atmospheric changes. Never venture more than 100 meters from your shelter without marking your path clearly. The landscape lacks distinct features. Keep your tools elevated and dry. The humid environment will quickly rust or rot any equipment left on the ground. Practice emergency evacuation of your shelter. Flash floods and forest fires can develop with devastating speed in this period. Remember that rescue might take days or weeks. Conserve your modern tools and develop sustainable, primitive alternatives. You must carefully assess your surroundings for edible plants, as the Carboniferous flora differs drastically from modern species. Locate large tree ferns and examine their starchy pith. This can be extracted and cooked to provide essential carbohydrates. Your shelter needs reinforcement against the frequent storms of this period. Weave giant fern fronds tightly to create waterproof roofing. Watch for giant insects. While most aren't predatory, their size means even herbivorous species could cause serious injury. You should collect and purify water from streams, but avoid stagnant pools which may harbor dangerous ancient microorganisms. Test any potential food sources by rubbing a small amount on your skin first and waiting 24 hours for adverse reactions. Your machete will be essential for harvesting plant materials and self-defense. Keep it sharp using fine-grained sandstone. Create elevated sleeping platforms to avoid ground-dwelling creatures. The high oxygen levels make wood extremely flammable. You must maintain a constant fire. The increased oxygen means flames spread rapidly, so clear a wide safety perimeter. Fashion spears from straight branches hardened in fire. Ancient amphibians and early reptiles may view you as prey. Your whistle can help ward off curious creatures, as most haven't encountered such sounds before. Store extra food on elevated platforms. The humid environment will cause rapid spoilage of gathered materials. You should construct multiple caches of supplies within a 1-mile radius of your main shelter. Learn to recognize the giant dragonflies. They're harmless to humans and their presence indicates clean water sources. Your survival depends on adapting to the constant humidity. Keep clothes and equipment elevated to prevent rot. Fashion protective headgear from large fern fronds. The increased oxygen means more intense UV radiation. You must avoid panic when encountering giant arthropods. Most are herbivorous and will flee rather than attack. Create markers using your paracord to prevent getting lost. The uniform landscape of fern forests is very disorienting. Your fire starter is precious. Make backup friction fire tools immediately while you still have a reliable flame source. Construct fish traps in streams using fern fronds. Ancient fish species are abundant and provide excellent protein. You should establish a daily routine of gathering and preparation to maintain psychological stability. Monitor the sky for approaching storms. They were more frequent and intense during this period. Your blanket can be used as a filter for water or smoke, both essential in this oxygen-rich environment. Practice making cordage from plant fibers. Your paracord won't last forever in these conditions. You must learn to read weather patterns by observing insect behavior. They're highly sensitive to barometric changes. Create backup shelters in different locations. Flash floods and lightning fires were common in this period. Your long-term survival depends on establishing reliable food sources within the first week. Document edible plants by marking their locations and seasonal changes. This information is crucial for sustained survival. Keep your shelter ventilated but protected. The high oxygen levels make carbon monoxide poisoning a serious risk. You should maintain multiple water collection systems. Morning dew can be gathered from large fern fronds. Practice moving silently. While most creatures aren't hostile, attracting attention could be dangerous. Your tools must be kept dry and maintained daily. The humid environment will quickly degrade metal and fiber. Create elevated pathways between resource locations. The ground can become treacherous during frequent rains. You must establish a reliable method for preserving food. Smoking and drying are essential in this environment. Learn to recognize dangerous fungi. Many ancient species were highly toxic to mammals. Your survival kit should be duplicated using local materials within the first month. Monitor your health carefully. Any small injury can become serious in this bacterial-rich environment. You should establish clear markers for unsafe areas and potential hazards within your territory. Remember that night brings different dangers. Many ancient predators were nocturnal. Your psychological health is as important as physical survival. Maintain a routine and stay purposefully occupied. Your oxygen meter flickers erratically, the digital display becoming increasingly unreliable as power cells degrade. Notice how your equipment's performance has declined steadily over the past weeks, each system showing signs of inevitable failure. You must carefully ration your remaining filtered air supply, taking shallow breaths to extend what precious clean oxygen remains. Observe the massive dragonflies circling overhead, their 3-foot wingspans casting shadows in the strange, prehistoric light. Your makeshift shelter of giant fern fronds begins to deteriorate, the ancient plant matter breaking down faster than expected. Check your remaining supplies: 3 days of purified water, half a protein bar, and a failing filtration system. You should begin preparing mentally for the possibility that rescue may not arrive in time to prevent system failure. Watch the ancient sun set through the towering Carboniferous forest, casting long shadows through the primordial mist. Your muscles ache from weeks of survival, but the prehistoric air has given you unexpected strength and endurance. Consider how the elevated oxygen levels have affected your body. Enhanced healing, increased energy, sharper focus. You must acknowledge that your technology cannot sustain you indefinitely in this alien world of giant insects and strange flora. Record your final observations in the backup log. Atmospheric readings, biological specimens, geological formations. Your heart rate remains surprisingly steady as you realize the magnitude of your situation in this ancient time. Listen to the strange calls of unknown creatures echoing through the forest of towering tree ferns and ancient conifers. You should take comfort in knowing your scientific data will survive, stored in multiple redundant memory systems. Watch the bioluminescent fungi begin their nightly display, painting the prehistoric darkness in ethereal colors. Your breathing synchronizes naturally with the ancient rhythm of this world, as if your body is adapting to its primordial state. Feel the strange peace that comes with accepting your place in this moment of Earth's distant past. You must preserve your remaining strength, conserving energy as your support systems gradually power down. Observe how the giant millipedes create paths through the undergrowth, their ancient wisdom guiding their survival. Your consciousness expands beyond the limitations of your failing equipment, embracing the raw vitality of this prehistoric realm. Rest beneath the canopy of giant ferns, their fronds swaying gently in the oxygen-rich breeze of Earth's past. You find yourself becoming one with the ancient forest, your modern concerns fading like distant memories. Watch the stars emerge above the primordial landscape, knowing they alone remain unchanged after 359 million years. Your journey transcends time itself as you merge with the eternal cycle of Earth's grand story.